I'm Josh with Skid Pro, and today we're going to look at one of our all-time customer favorites, our Earth Auger. I'm not quite sure what it is about digging a hole by hand, but there's almost nothing else I can think of that I'd like to try and avoid doing, ever. So if you have a skid loader and you ever need to punch a hole in the ground, you should really have an auger. In all seriousness, the low cost of ownership versus the hassle of renting makes this a great attachment to purchase rather than rent. One of the tough parts when it comes to evaluating an auger is they all look the same, and almost everything is hidden inside the auger housing. Products like this can be viewed as commodities, and price becomes the sole deciding factor. This, of course, would be a mistake, and one that would come back to haunt you. So today, we'll dig in a little deeper to help give you a better understanding of what makes auger drives different and why we think so highly of ours. First and foremost, we look at the build when it comes to an attachment. And the heart of the auger is in the drivetrain. There are three main types of drives: chain reduction, direct, and planetary. Chain reduction is old school, utilizing chain and sprockets. Not only does it have the maintenance issues and part replacement, it is the lowest torque output of any of the drives, the most problematic, and not surprisingly, the cheapest. You'll save a few $100s when you purchase, but you'll put way more than that back into it over the life of the auger, not to mention the downtime and headaches you'll have as well. Direct drive is a significant step up. If you've watched enough of our videos, you know the benefits of direct drive. It is usually a better way of designing attachments, unless you're talking about ground engaging. Then torque becomes the name of the game. And while you can use bigger displacement motors to gain torque, it doesn't come close to the torque on a planetary gear, which brings us to the third design. A planetary drive utilizes a direct hydraulic motor that runs through a planetary hub. This turns down the RPM, but gives a huge jump in torque. And for an auger going into the ground, torque will always be the limiting factor, especially in tough conditions. And this is clearly evident when looking at drilling rigs or digger derrick trucks where guys make their living punching holes. They all utilize high torque, low RPM, planetary gear auger drives. The Skid Pro Earth Auger, depending on the model, produces torque in excess of 3,000 foot-pounds. That's a whopping 1,000 foot-pounds more torque than many standard direct drive designs at the same pressure. Another incredible benefit of the planetary gear drive system is its reliability. There's less to go wrong, it's a more robust drive system, and because of that, we offer an industry-leading 4-year warranty. In addition to the reliability of the drive, we want to make the attachment heavy duty. And there's not a ton of steel on an auger, but it's still important that it is built well and it's strong. The QT plate and frame, as we call it, needs to be well built. There's a lot of torque put on it during the augering process, so we want to make sure that is not a weak spot. This unit tips the scales at a hefty 350 pounds without a bit. The frame is robust and comes standard with a reinforced cradle, so the auger can rest in while traveling or during transport. Another important feature is our extra large knuckle. This cast plate knuckle consists of two 1.5-inch pins that allows the auger to free float, essentially allowing it to gravity plumb perfectly, ensuring a straight hole each and every time. These heavy-duty pins are firmly secured to the QT plate, allowing you to transfer all the torque generated by this unit straight down into the ground. With more torque comes a greater capacity. Most direct drive units and all chain reduction drives max out at smaller bit sizes, while the Skid Pro planetary auger can easily power a 36-inch auger bit and beyond. And not just wide holes, but deep holes in tough clay and fill. A planetary drive can punch a 36-inch hole 4 feet in the ground in just a couple of minutes. The universal 2-inch hexagon drive shaft gives a more durable interface than the old round drives, along with being able to handle the added torque of the planetary without shearing bolts that hold the auger onto the shaft. This original design was the main shear protection for the old chain and sprocket designs. Not necessary here because we do still have the built-in pressure relief, which kicks the motor off if a rock or impassable object is encountered while digging. This not only safeguards the drive, but it protects your bits as well. When it comes to options, as high flow and mini skid steers become more and more popular, we do have exact model and motor configurations to meet those specs, including mounting on a backhoe, mini excavator, and other carriers. Speaking of overlooked and commodity appearing products, how about we switch gears a bit and talk about our auger bits and what makes them tougher than the average. First and foremost, it starts with our boss collar overlap weld. The tube is actually inserted up into the boss collar and it's fully welded 360 degrees around with a fillet weld. That weld is so much stronger than the traditional butt weld of joining two pieces of tube together. So from a strength standpoint, that's a night and day difference. Skid Pro runs a true heavy-duty auger bit with a cast cutting head and a hammer-in tooth design. Because the head is cast molded, we can design each tooth to a specific angle, not just in a straight line like many medium-duty bits. Not only does this help give a more aggressive dig in harsh conditions like fractured rock, hard ground, frozen ground, packed clay, but it also gives more precise and exact tooth layout versus a hand laid and welded. With the hammer and teeth, we can also change out to rock flat teeth with carbides, hard face for added durability, or standard forged teeth. More options to cover more real world situations. Don't be fooled. In the end, the bit is what's in the ground doing the digging. Pinching pennies on bargain bits is a recipe for encountering issues and downtime in the field. Also, our pilots are 4.5 inches versus the competition at 3.5. This 30% increase in size gives added durability along with helping suck that bit into the ground for faster, more efficient digging. Our core tube is stronger and more robust, utilizing a 3.5-inch quarter wall, 65,000 yield tube, not pipe. It's more expensive, but it is just plain stronger. And sacrificing strength here can mean the difference between a bit lasting you a lifetime or bending it in a hole and having to scrap it after a year or two. Skid Pro offers a multitude of auger bit designs including tree, rock, puff bits, with sizes ranging from 4 to 36 inches and beyond, plus a multitude of adapters, extensions, and tooth options. While other companies use multiple drive systems across their lineup, Skid Pro only builds the best, and that's the planetary drive. Our planetary drive and built to last heavy-duty auger bits will have you chewing through dirt for years. To learn more, call a product guru today at 877-378-4642 or visit us online, skidpro.com.